As you may know, the Percy Jackson series comes out in less than 2 weeks, so let's talk about it. So the show is premiering on Disney Plus with the first 2 episodes coming out December 20th. There's going to be a total of 8 episodes in this season. So they have released all the names of all the episodes, so I want to go through, talk about each name, and talk about what I think we might see in each episode. So the first episode is titled I Accidentally Vaporized My Pre-Algebra Teacher, which, if you know, is the first book chapter of the Percy Jackson book. And I just want to give a round of applause to everyone that's been working on this show, to how book accurate they're being and how much they're including from the original series, especially with these episode titles. It really gives me good hope for the show. So in this first episode, obviously we're going to get introduced to Percy, probably Grover, Sally, Percy's mom, and probably Gabe, Percy's stepdad as well. I think Miss Dodds, obviously we're going to see. I think a lot of this first episode is going to take place with Percy at Yancey Academy when he's going to school with Grover. And the first episode is when he's probably going to learn that he's a demigod as well. I think they're going to kind of pack kind of a lot into this first episode, especially with establishing Percy and Sally's relationship, so we can see really how close they are. I think Grover is going to lose his pants, as you will, in this episode as well, and it's probably going to end with them trying to get to Camp Half-Blood. Probably the Minotaur scene is where this episode's going to end off, which I'm kind of scared to see. Prepare for waterworks. Episode 2 is titled I Become Supreme Lord of the Bathroom, and I think episode 2 is going to encompass a lot of Camp Half-Blood activities. So I think we're going to see Capture the Flag, we're going to be introduced to Annabeth, we're going to meet Luke, we're going to meet Clarice, we're going to meet a lot of Percy's camp friends. This episode, I think it's also when we're going to see Percy get claimed by Poseidon, learn that he is son of Poseidon. The thing I'm most excited about this episode is the scene where Percy becomes Supreme Lord of the Bathroom, where him and Clarice get in a fight. You know, she's trying to do him dirty, and he just explodes the plumbing. And I think it's going to be really cool to see this come alive on screen. There's going to be a lot jam-packed into these first 2 episodes to introduce, you know, the characters, the background, to really feel a connection with our kids. I do think that the second episode is going to end with Percy getting his quest, just because I think it'll set up the next few episodes really well, and kind of get that hook on people, get everyone to want to come back and watch the next episode. So episode 3 is We Visit the Garden Gnome Emporium. Episode is going to start with Annabeth, Grover, and Percy beginning their quest together. Obviously, if you've read the books, the Garden Gnome Emporium is home of Medusa, so we're gonna see the 3 of them journey there and get to Medusa's lair, and we're gonna see Medusa. I'm really excited to see this episode. I'm really interested to see how they go about killing Medusa, because as we know, is he going to use an iPod Touch? Probably not. What was that? Love it, but let's move on. Well, no matter how they do it, I think this episode's going to end with the 3 of them killing Medusa and moving on from the Garden Gnome Emporium. Episode 4 is called I Plunged My Death, and this might be the episode I am most excited for. Obviously, we are going to see Percy jump from the St. Louis Arch, which, I don't know. I don't know why, but growing up, this was like my favorite chapter of the book, and I'm really excited to see it come to life. I also feel like this episode is going to be packed with a lot of different monster fights. Just in the book, I know that in this section, there's quite a few monsters that the crew encounters, so it'll be really interesting to see those as well. So episode 5 is called A God Buys Us Cheeseburgers. In this episode, I believe we're going to see the trio going to Waterworld, which is a place they visit in the books. They go there to retrieve Ares' shield. This is where the Tunnel of Love is going to happen, where we're going to see that. I think in this episode we should meet Ares, which is going to be really, really cool. From what I can tell, he looks great. I'm really excited to see him in the show. Episode 6 is called We Take a Zebra to Vegas, and I think overall this is probably the general public's most anticipated episode, because obviously we're going to get the Lotus scene. We all remember that from the movies and the books if you read the books. But yeah, we're going to see the trio get on a bus with all the animals. They're going to make their way to the Lotus Hotel. You can also see from some of the promo pictures that Hermes is going to be at the Lotus Hotel. Not sure if this is going to be the first time we see him or meet him in the series, but he's definitely going to be there. I'm really interested to see what spin they put on it and how they make it a little bit different than what we've seen before. This should be a super fun, highly anticipated episode. So obviously the next part of the book is them trying to get into the underworld. So I think this episode is going to set up the next episode to be the Underworld episode. I don't think they're going to go to the Underworld in this episode. I think the Lotus Hotel will probably be enough. Episode 7 is called We Find Out the Truth, sort of. And in this episode, I think they're going to meet Hades, Persephone. The three of them are going to journey into the Underworld, and kind of the events of the Underworld in the book that we've seen will unfold through this episode. I think through this episode as well, we'll get into the Underworld, kind of see Cyprus, the river Styx, Hades. They'll make their way through. The realization that, Hades didn't do it. What are we doing here? They're gonna use the pearls, leave, and I think the episode will probably end kind of right as they're leaving the underworld. It's a little bit unclear because obviously there's less show episodes than book chapters, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly when this is gonna end, but right around there. So the last episode is called The Prophecy Comes True. Obviously, last episode we're gonna see Percy going back to New York City, going to Mount Olympus up the Empire State Building, trying to apologize to the gods, bringing the thunderbolt, and all of that good stuff. We will see Zeus and Poseidon in this episode. I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the first time we see them, especially Poseidon. I kind of have a feeling we're going to see some flashbacks with him and Sally, but it could be the first time. We don't know. I think they're going to also use the end of the episode to set up the next season, hopefully. So we're going to see probably Grover going to find Pan, which is a big part of the next book, if you know. We're probably also going to see the conversation where, Percy finds out that, hey, Luke's the guy. Why are you doing this? And see that unfold as well. And then that'll be the end of season 1. I literally cannot believe that we are so close to this coming out. This has been by far my most anticipated show of the year. I am so excited to watch all these episodes. I'll probably be talking more about them as they come out. I really want to do a comparison between, what we're seeing in the show and what we saw in the books. I do think that Rick has said that they're going to add some more stuff, that we haven't necessarily seen in the books, which I'm super excited about. I think it'll keep things new and interesting. I'm also really excited to see all the actors and actresses in action. I think the casting so far has been absolutely amazing. The kids seem to be doing such a great job. I know that Rick, obviously this is his baby. He's gonna put a lot of time and effort into it, and I'm so excited to see how everything came out. Let me know in the comments if there's anything I missed that you think we're gonna see. Make sure to like and subscribe. It means a lot to me, and I'll see y'all next time.